Radio Contraband 2016 in Vegas. With who needs no introduction, 6 a.m. And I'm so excited for you guys because, you know, the changes that you've made in your past careers, now you can focus completely on 6 a.m. and that's exciting.
It really is. It is. This is a kind of a landmark year for us because of that very reason. This is, you know, everything that 6 a.m. has done up until now. It's been a little bit unclear as to what we are.
Right.
Well, we even said, excuse me, yawning, as John James was talking.
Our new singer, John Juan. We're going to call you Juan.
What's your name again?
You said that we need no introduction.
Juan
We actually
Michael.
introduce ourselves to each other. I'm James.
I'm Pete. We said we would never tour.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know, then we kind of toured begrudgingly.
Yeah.
I mean, we loved it being on the road, but it was never our plan. And
But
now
why?
that's our whole thing, is to be
Yeah.
a live band.
Right.
Make
Well,
records.
So what changed? Like what made you want to change that?
Well, I think that a number of things. It was the right time for all of us to really look at what 6 a.m. had become and determine what the future of 6 a.m. is going to be. And after we were on the road last year in April on the Modern Vintage Tour, it became very, very clear to us that we have literally just started the story. So, and what's so exciting about these new records that we've just finished is it reflects exactly that. These records are the first time that 6 a.m. truly knows who they are as a band and has a plan for the future.
So is your sound going to change with this record?
It's evolved. And,
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of feel that it's Heroin Diaries meets This Is Gonna Hurt on
This is
steroids.
going to hurt, so that makes so it's kind of like
there's
put the two in there having a baby.
Yeah, it is. It's an ugly baby.
Yeah.
It's a rock and roll. Very ugly. Lots of them are. Yeah. There's lots of them.
It's a much heavier record.
Okay.
It rocks a lot harder, I think, than anything we've done, including This Is Gonna Hurt.
Yeah.
And I would say that overall, it's, you know, it definitely goes to a lot of different places. But I would say that, you know, to describe it in a few words, it would be heavier than anything we've done and extremely emotionally charged.
When you put those two together, it sounds pretty rad. I can't
Yeah.
wait to hear it later. So it comes
We
out.
wrote the songs to play live too. Like when we
Oh,
were
did you?
on tour, there's things that we do that we knew were at our heart. And when we were writing, we were like, we love the way This Is Gonna Hurt feels live, and we would be writing more in that direction. Or we liked the way, you know, this song came off live, and then we would write in that direction.
Did you record it that way? Like raw?
Absolutely, and that was very important to us. In fact, you know, I think that over the last few records that we've made, it's always been an experiment. We've always intentionally had it be an experiment in the studios. And it was very important to us this time around that each of our musical personalities come through on this record. We were actually backstage in LA at a show, and Bob Rock, world famous producer Bob Rock, came back and was talking to us about it. And that was one of the things that he pointed out. He said, I want to hear 6 a.m. Really get heavy. I want to hear Nicky's personality. I want to hear DJ's personality. You know, what comes across live, I want to hear that in the
I want
studio.
more of the dirt.
Oh, more of the dirt.
And it was there in the back of our head, and I sent Rise to him 2 days ago, and he called me within 3 minutes and was like, you guys did it.
And that's going to be your first single.
Yeah.
And we'll get that when?
March 1st.
March 1st.
Yeah.
Okay.
March 1st, yeah.
And I read somewhere that it's, I think, DJ, you said it was about empowerment for you. So what exactly, in each of your eyes, is what the song is about?
I think it's going to mean something different to everybody,
Yeah,
you know,
right.
but ultimately it's like, you know, coming together, and together we can make a huge change, whatever that change may be, for the better, hopefully, but, you know, that's what it means to me. You know?
Yeah, I think so. You know, we were all so impacted, as everyone is, as society in general right now. We're so overwhelmed by images every day. If you turn on the news for 5 minutes, you see images from all around the world. It is depressing because I think that we all feel like somebody's got to do something. It's an election year here in the States, and clearly it's the most divisive and I guess the America is so compelled right now to just get up and raise up their voice and be heard. No matter which side of it you're on, people are so desperate to be heard. And I think that's something that's clear around the world. We see so many examples of significant changes needing to happen globally. And the only time that ever happens is when people actually do say, I've had enough of the status quo. I've had enough of just sitting here watching the news. I'm going to get up and I'm going to do something about it.
And it's happening for the first time. More and more people, we're not political, but just watching TV, it's like more and more people are showing up to vote
banding
than
together.
ever.
Yeah.
And it's great.
And it's interesting because musically, it really came out of what happened on the Modern Vintage Tour, which was that we want to rock harder. And lyrically and spiritually, we're being pelted by all this, mostly negative stuff. And we like to push back against negativity, as a band. We always have Life is Beautiful, This is Gonna Hurt, Lives of Beautiful People, Stars, and other songs. So it's very much in our heart.
Yeah.
It's true, and very much like all of our other songs, there's always that driving element of hope.
Yeah.
As Nikki just said, it's very easy to become negative, and negativity is incredibly infectious.
Yeah, very.
But what we have found is that so is positivity.
Yeah.
It may even be more infectious, and once you actually rise up and start trying to make a difference, people go, I want to be a part of that movement.
Now, are you guys going to get tied in with any type of, I guess, not charity, but movement with
We want to, we like to be able to point out something, and as artists we're reflective like that, we always have been, but we want people to make their own decisions on what they want to rise up to. And if you're a Democrat or a Republican or neither, right now in this environment in America at least, pick something you believe in and stand up and say something. Don't
Use
just
your
sit
voice,
there on
yeah.
the couch and, nothing's going to change if you're not involved.
That's right.
And, but we're not a political thing. That's not what it's about.
And this is not a new concept, but it's
Right.
never been more relevant than it is right now.
I feel the world more than now needs a little bit of hope. I mean, when's the last time you saw some good news on the news? And I think people are starving for that. And I think, that's something we've always really prided ourselves is finding the good and the bad and putting it out there and giving something that people can kind of grab onto, So this album definitely does that.
You guys are obviously going to follow it up with the world tour like you were talking about, and you guys are doing like a campaign where they can vote or they can tell you, like, come to this city. So how's that going? Did you guys start that already?
Yeah, we just put it out.
We just did, and already we're pretty excited about how
I'm going to have to put my vote in
people are.
because you guys have never come to North Carolina, and
We will
you'll be
now.
at the festival scenes this year. I do that, so
Yeah.
see at Rebellion, Rock and Range and stuff. But yeah, so I don't think that you come to.
We're really excited because we got offers globally to play these festivals. So, we get to put our first single out, put our record out. Our record comes out the day of the first show.
Yeah.
And then we go on tour. Fans are voting in that area because we can't, make it all the way back to Los Angeles and then all the way back to the next festival show in the Midwest somewhere. But in that area, fans getting to pick where we play. Then we get to go to Europe. We got a lot of great stuff happening over there. We get to play for the first time in Europe as a band. And then when we come back with the song and the album will be out, and we'll be looking at the second single and probably the second record. And we have an arena tour, a couple arena tour offers right now. We're about to, sign up for that, and then we'll be out in the fall and next year playing arenas for the first time. So we're going to be
Busy.
Yeah, well, we're excited. We have so much music and 22 songs.
Was that why you're writing or you're releasing 2 albums this year? Because you just have so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've always written a lot of material for our records, but it was very important to us this time that we didn't just write 2 albums worth of material and then put out 1 record. We wanted to just have so much new music to share with our fans, and I think it's important nowadays to do that, to keep new music coming, to keep people engaged.
If I hear one more guy say that music is dead, people are not going to concerts, I'm just going to release 1 song because, music, no one buys albums, I'm going to throw up my mouth. It's like we believe the more music that you can create for the fans, you're creating a good experience for them.
Yeah.
And stop living in the 70s or 80s, looking at it only as a money business. The record companies, know it's a penny business. We're not in this to get rich. We're in this to make music and creative and say things that are important to us. And, you know, we'll be able to survive through touring and things like that, which is important for a band. But you gotta stop worrying about how many sales you're doing and start worrying about how many people you're touching.
Yeah, I agree. Do you guys find it hard, since you're releasing the album the day of your first festival, and then I know that you'll be the first weekend of May at Carolina Rebellion, do you touch on a lot of the new stuff? And since it's going to be very new, do you find that you'd rather play the past albums more than just maybe touch on the single at the moment, or are you going to play some of the...
Well, that's something you always have to be thoughtful of when you're planning a tour and introducing new music.
Yeah.
And there is that fine balance. You know, as Nikki just said, we have, for being a band that basically we still think of ourselves kind of as a new band.
Yeah.
You know, for
Well,
being,
you are.
for being a new band,
Yeah.
we've got a lot of records under our belt already. So it's very exciting for us to be able to go in and really handcraft these set lists based on, you know, when we did the same thing on the April tour, and I'm sure we're going to do this again. Not only ask fans where they want us to play, ask them what they want, you know, what they want to hear, and that's very helpful.
Yeah.
It's really fascinating when you start realizing which songs out of all of the records have connected well, and then you kind of start designing it towards that. So that's a lot of fun.
Start to take on like, this new relationship. We have a song "Relief," and we really liked it.
Yeah.
It became like a fan favorite. We never even saw that one coming.
Right.
People would go crazy when we played that song live.
Yeah.
And why do you think that is?
Yeah, I personally,
in a certain way?
I think that it's a combination of the fact that musically it feels really good, and it's got a great message. It's a really, really strong message, and I think over the last few years we've been really noticing how much more important the message has become to people. I used to think, you know, back in the day when I first started writing songs, I thought you can sing the phone book as long as it's got a good hook. And
That's not true, because
it used to
especially-
be a little more true, but now people really are coming to music.
Like connect.
As an
They want to
outlet,
connect.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
exactly right.
Exactly. When I was young, listening to music, you know, sit in my room, you know, put my headphones on and listen to music, and that was my release, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was my therapy
You can't say
time.
that what you just said though. You can't say when I was young, because now you have to tell us how old are you.
I'll tell you when the camera's off.
I can tell you that on the air she says she's 29.
29.
Every year.
Good. Good.
Every year.
Every year she's
We're
like
not embarrassed. We're going to
29's
be
a good year.
44 this year.
Fantastic.
Right? There, he said it. Oh,
I'm so glad that we have that.
I just went into some forbidden.
38. Yeah, I'm going to go with 38.
Started a fight.
And all of a sudden I said, what's the same age? She goes, Tommy, I'm always 38, okay?
38, 39, whatever, I lose track. But anyway, so we're excited for the albums to come out. I cannot wait. And hopefully, other than Rebellion, we'll see you back in North Carolina on a headlining tour.
Yeah. Great rock.
We're going to start rallying all of our listeners at Rock 105 and
You
tell
have
them
to
to start
rise
voting.
up.
Yes, we'll get them to rise up to get you guys here.
Rise up for
So
6 a.m.
this is exciting. I'm excited to hear the album a little bit later today, too.
Have you heard anything yet?
I have not heard any.
Oh, good. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, so I think we're going to do it in a couple hours, right?
Yeah.
Listen
I
to
am
it.
so excited for the world to hear this.
Is there anything else that you guys can let us know about?
Well, our vinyl's coming out. Both of our vinyls come out on the day of the release of our.
I'll make sure
digital
Jackie
work.
sends it out.
So we're very excited about that.
I love that the vinyls are becoming popular again.
We do
Yeah.
too. We
Yeah,
do
I
too.
think it's great because I think these young kids, they don't know what it feels like to run out and get a new record and
Right.
look at the artwork and
Yeah.
smell it. You know what I mean?
You can't touch a digital file.
That's
right.
I mean, and I love that about
Yeah.
going to the record
Absolutely.
store and CDs.
I think parents are
And on
going
the,
to take their
like
kids
the gatefolds were great. You could put your weed in there.
I love that part.
Well, thanks guys so much for chit-chatting with us. And
Thanks.
again, can't wait for the album and the next couple of years of you guys out there touring and
Thank you.
catching a show finally. So,
Finally.
Finally.
Damn.
Dang. It's only been, what, 4 years? How long have you guys been doing it?
7.
Gee.
7. Oh my gosh.
longer.
We're gonna be 10.
Yeah.
Wow.
Next year.
We're gonna be 10 next
Oh,
year.
10.
Holy cow.
Great. God, we're older than I thought.
Next year is the anniversary of the
Yeah.
Hairbackers.
I just
Serious?
think that it's fascinating that you started to write songs that you never intended to play live.
Yeah.
And then now
It
you
only
write
took us
songs.
10 years to
Yeah,
become a
I
band.
just find it fascinating.
Can I tell you, well, I guess we're still rolling, but like when This Is Gonna Hurt came out and I started to look at your photography and stuff like that, when I heard Skin, I literally cried.
Yeah.
I
Nice.
literally cried when I love that song.
That song has really connected with people all around the world, and it's been a really special little
Well,
thing.
because especially with, I was a tomboy growing up with 4 brothers, and I just was home looking and blah, you know what I mean? I got picked on a lot. And it just brought back those memories
Yeah.
when I was young, and I was just like, and I'm not an emotional person. That song really touched me. It was a
That's
great
neat.
song.
It must be good. She's emotionally dead.
I have no soul.
She's
This
just
is a tough crowd here.
Well, she's my best friend. We can't pick on your best friend. I did want to ask too, and I just think this is a really cool thing. Maybe it's more of a human interest. I love how you associate your dogs into just about everything that you do. I was following on.
That's the way to talk about
my,
James.
one of my friends said to my wife, "How do you feel that your husband posts more about the dogs than he does you on his Instagram account?" And I was like, "Thanks for bringing that up." So now I have to post pictures.
So you're literally the dog. Literally.
I was the dog house with the dogs. Yeah, no, thanks.
I think that's
Dogs are great.
Oh, yeah.
More people should be like them.
yes, they're
Very
much-
loyal.
Yeah. Yes,
But the
I would-
sad thing is dogs only live between 7 and 12 years, and there's so many people that I, wish had that kind
That
of dog's
lifespan,
life.
I'm with you on that
I
one.
wish my dogs could live to be, like 80, and then some people I know can only live to be 7.
I think that's a great way to wrap up the interview.
There you go.
It's 6 a.m. The album comes out April 29th, correct?
Yep.
And we
Yes.
will make sure you guys go out there. Where's the website they would go to vote for?
6ammusic.com.
There
Yeah.
you go. It's live from Radio Contraband 2016 in Las Vegas.
Peace.
Just